To the Supreme Court now, where a controversial case is getting argued before the Supreme Court. At issue, President Obama's immigration plan, which would block the deportation of millions of undocumented immigrants. Earlier, I spoke with CBS News Justice reporter Paula Reid about the specifics of the case and its greater impact.
This is the biggest case of the term. This will determine whether or not the justices will uphold the president's executive action on immigration. That program would allow people who are here illegally to enter a federal program to be able to get work permits without fear of deportation. Now, when the president announced this program, 26 states sued opposing the program, saying the president does not have the authority to actually put this in place, that this would put a burden on those states. So they have sued, and their case has made it all the way here to the Supreme Court. Now, not surprisingly, with such a contentious issue, there are a lot of protesters here. But, Josh, this is the first time I've ever covered such a contentious case where 99% of the protesters are for one side. Almost everyone here out in front of the court supports the president's executive action on immigration. Went through the entire crowd. We could find just one person who opposed it, and he's really only here to protest ever having a vote on the 9th justice.
So then you were certainly able to locate people in favor of the president's executive action here. What are they telling you?
I interviewed a woman earlier. She was born here. Her parents have 4 children that they had after they came here illegally. They've been here for 27 years. And she and I talked about how difficult it is for her family, especially for her father, to get work and then to get paid for the work that he does, to hold down a job. She said when the president announced this executive action on immigration, she and her family were thrilled. They went to a lawyer. They put down their deposit. But then this lawsuit came in, threw the whole thing in flux. And she says she is so concerned day to day that her father could potentially be deported. And if the president's executive action on immigration is allowed to go through, she said it would allow both of her parents to be able to work here legally, as they have done for many, many years, just illegally and with the fear of deportation. So there's so many people here with similar stories, families who do not want to be separated, people who want to see this program go forward.
You mentioned, of course, the lone protester that you were able to find actually just protesting any action being brought before the court with just 8 justices. How could the death of Antonin Scalia then impact this case in particular?
Well, there's always the fear of a 4-4 split. And in this case, that could really throw this whole thing into a very complicated situation. Usually when they tie, it goes down to whatever the lower court's decision here. But for this case, it's been the lower court and the appeals court upholding an injunction. So legal scholars say it's not exactly clear what would happen to the president's program if they do split 4-4. It may go back to the trial court and then would have to be heard on the merits all the way back up here to the Supreme Court, or they could uphold the injunction. It's almost an unprecedented situation. So the absence of Justice Scalia definitely calls the outcome of this case, if they don't uphold or deny the president's program, throws the whole thing into almost an unprecedented legal situation.
As you mentioned, the most important case of the term, and it will be heard today. Justice reporter Paula Reid at the Supreme Court. We appreciate the time.